Good day. The best story of the day. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Dominion, by the way, which is the second best story, which is so good and nobody is explaining it to you. But the best part is when we are trying to detail about the leaked Pentagon documents. Why is that interesting? Well, let me explain something to you. As you may or may not know, the human ear can hear up to, well, between 20 and 20,000 hertz. That is the area or the range of speech the hearing that people can have. It's so below that or above that, you're wasting your time. It's not that no sound is being made. It's that the human ear cannot hear that. When it comes to anything involving the globe, international, foreign affairs, forget it. Americans are, they starura. They're just hard heads. They're jadruls. And I was noticing that Fox News in particular, we're going to talk about Dominion today. This is such a great case. It's so interesting. But anyway, Fox News is trying to report on the leaked documents. But that's not what this is about. The leaked documents show that basically it is alleged that everything that you were told about the war is a lie. Is a lie. This is just they don't understand. They don't understand. So I'm saying, did you read about the 7-to-1 kill ratio? 7 Ukrainians killed for every 1 Russian. 7-to-1 during various battles in history. Do you know what those levels were? Like World War II? If you considered a rout, do you know what they were? 1 to 1.2. That was like, hey, we're killing 1.2 Germans for every 1 of ours. We're going great. This is 7 because you have been lied to. Do you believe this story? Everybody who's anybody is saying, you believe this 21-year-old National Guardsman got a hold of something of this? There were some of the classified stories, some of the documents regarding that should have been taken from a SCIF unit, a SCIF room. Do you believe this for a moment? But see, it's not the story. It's to everybody on Fox and everybody else who basically blindly jumped on board the Ukrainian cause without even asking anything about it. Do you know anything about this? No. I've got friends of mine, they're people that I know in the world of radio. Now, radio, you got to understand something. And I got to explain something to you. Radio is the last vestige. They don't know that the light is turned off. They don't know that the star has burned out. It hasn't happened yet. Give me an example. If I went and kicked you, or maybe you've had this. Sometimes you pick up a cute little baby and you hold it waist high and you get kicked right in the inguinal area right there, and you get a crush to the to this very sensitive part of the male anatomy. It takes a second for you to realize you get hit. And then you say to yourself, now the pain's going to come. And when the pain comes, it is like nothing. It is so soul searing, but it takes a while. It takes a second. Same thing with if you put your hand on a fire or a burner, you will feel the burner before you feel the pain. So the people in radio in particular don't understand that star is dead, but the light hasn't hit yet. It hasn't felt the impact of what's happening. The movement is podcasting. And the people on radio are so snooty. They really think, I mean, let's face it. I mean, especially the bigger one. It doesn't have it. I'm saying, remember, the light still comes. They're saying, well, we're still making money. Oh, okay, but I'm saying it's here. Okay. And these folks will never do anything to veer, especially the more corporate the radio in particular or TV, the more beholden it is to the official statement. I heard one guy say that Russia was being trounced. All of their soldiers were drunk. All of their attempts at any kind of victory were for naught. That they're cannibalizing each other and dogs and they're drunk. They always have this thing about Russians are all drunk, you know, that kind of thing. That you got some poor kid who calls his mother, I don't know why I'm doing this. They're trying. I don't know what this accent is, but. And they believe this. And the Russians are saying, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. The Russian economy is doing great. The Russian economy is doing great. They don't know what are you talking about? So the people on Fox who all of a sudden are reporting this, you're the ones like Larry Kudlow and others who say, and they're going to go in there and they're going to get Putin. And get, well, excuse me, why are you getting Putin? Why are you involved in this? I'm not taking sides as to who's a nice guy. I'm out of this. I don't care. You think anybody's a nice guy? You think Macron's a nice guy? Seriously? Seriously? You think Xi Jinping's a nice guy? You think Biden's a nice guy? Who's a nice guy? What are you talking about? But all those people on the couch on Fox News, all of a sudden, it's like they're reading the story. But no, go forward. What's in the document? Oh, no, we can't do. No, do your job. Tell people what's in the document. How it's a lie. How you've been lied to. How Austin and others, and Milley and all these people, Blinken and Sullivan and Kirby, when are you going to do this? It's okay. And they're all spooked regarding Dominion. They are spooked. And they kind of, well, there's a way that, we'll talk about that tomorrow. It's a very interesting story. Very interesting. Especially all you young podcasters out there who think, oh, I don't have to worry about getting sued. Well, know the rules. Know the rules. But Americans don't understand this. There is no such thing as the good guys. You have been living this Kremlin baiting nonsense for so long. You believe in this lunacy, this Boris and Natasha Russophobic. What are you talking about? We have 150, how many billions of dollars went to Ukraine? Where is it? This guy's lining his pockets. He's got how many homes? They told him, you're going to be. It's one thing about the shadow government. They pick the right people. You, Zuckerberg, you're going to be the face of Facebook. What? You are. We'll help you. In-Q-Tel, we'll help you. DARPA, we'll work with you. You're going to be the face of that. Okay. And Gates, you're the face of Microsoft. Because we can destroy you anytime we want. We'll make you a billionaire. Doesn't matter. You can do what we want, though. You understand what you're going to do? Of course. Obama, got it. Obama is the most dutiful. Absolutely. Whatever you want, I'll do it. Very smart. So Zelensky, they said, listen, how can we do this? Remember Kolomoisky? servant of the people, whatever it was. They get this guy. Nobody cares about that. And none of the people on Fox News care about that because they were in on it. Who was it? People like the one who was, this guy, I don't know what side he's on, if there is such a side, is this Cavuto. I hear his voice. If I even hear it in the background, I just turn it off. I run. I heard Larry Kudlow talking about Russia. I say, wait a minute. Hold it. Hold it. What are you doing here? I don't like anybody. Russia, I don't trust them. I don't trust anybody. Why are we getting involved in this? Oh, because of Victoria Nuland. Who? I have a friend of mine, I know, he had in his office, in the front of their corporate office, a flag with a Ukrainian flag below the American, which really nailed me. I always make sure that the blue, I said, what is this, a Blockbuster flag? What is this? What is it? So I said, where's Ukraine? Where is it? I always have, I got this at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has more, I think it's one of the biggest food sellers. Now it's $1.25, but I love this thing. I also have my big globe over here. You got to see this thing. You got to see the globe. I just look at my globe. Oh my God, just look at your globe. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. I can't, let me show you something here. This is one of my prized possessions here. This. And this is a classic series. Look at the islands. Just look at this. Just spend some time. Get a feel. You can feel the topography. You can feel this. And look where Russia is. Just look where this, move over here. There's India, and there's Russia, and there it is. Right there. Look at Belarus, Poland, Ukraine, Kyiv. You can see all this. There it is. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Just look at this. And understand. And then you look at our side, there's nothing. Look at this. It's like, what is this? Nothing. Because we don't have any idea of geography. And you see, the one thing about what Putin has done is Putin has said this. I don't have to put all my, I'm not going to a different foreign land. I'm not putting my, tanks and soldiers on C-130s and flying them, transport. I don't have to put all of my munitions and all of my stuff. I don't have to worry about that at all. None of it. I don't have to worry about any of that. All I have to do is just, I'm right there. I'm right there I'm on the border. I can take my time. Now let me explain this again to you. I can take my time. If this takes a year, takes a year. If I have to take all of my men, usually, and women, munitions, ordnance, bombs, food, water, supplies, whatever, put them on a plane, on a ship, send them over someplace else. Then once I get there, I got to commence that war, and we got to finish it to get back, because we're going to run out of stuff. Putin says, if you understand the map, I'm right here. What do I care about? A year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't care. I'm not going to send my men or women to be into some meat grinder. And they're waiting for the weather to change and it'd be easier. Plus, you get to keep sending money to Ukraine. If I'm Putin, I'm saying, keep sending all your arms, all of your missiles, all of your shells and your rockets, and deplete your supplies. Keep sending the money. I know it's going to Zelensky. It's okay. And the military industrial complex. But just keep draining this. Destabilize NATO. Come on. Is Ukraine in NATO yet? No. Ask most people what NATO is. They have no idea. Ask anybody. I would love to go into, all of a sudden, just walk into the Fox News morning show and say, excuse me, who's this? Hi, I'm a viewer. Can I have a seat right now? By the way, I locked the doors. I'm not going to hurt you or anything. I just want to ask you a question. Let's start with you. Ainsley, yeah. What's NATO? Go ahead. And don't help around. What's NATO? Who is NATO? What is the goal of NATO? Steve Ducey? Who is Victoria Nuland? Kilmeade, who's George Kennan? How did this work? What did Soviet containment work, and how does Soviet containment even make any sense when there's no Soviet Union? What is the Maidan? Euromaidan? What is Donetsk, Lugansk? What is the Donbass area? Kyiv, who is it? Crimea. Do Crimeans consider themselves Ukrainian or Russians? What do they speak? Do they intermarry? Do you know anything about this? Do you know who these people are? Do you have any? Who is the Azov Battalion? Who is the right sector? How does this work? Do you know what Zelensky is alleged to be doing to Orthodox Christians? Do you know? I'm not going to leave yet. And you've got to be able to tell me. Just do me a favor. And with all due respect, you, is it Ainsley? And okay, you and Brian and you and by the way, I'm going to CNN next. I'm starting with you first. Do me a favor. I want you to read this. Again, and read this and tell people I don't know what I'm doing. I make $15 million a year doing nothing. I will deny gravity. I will tell you that blue is red and 6 is 9, and I will say anything. I don't have any political ideation really that I can explain. I guess I'm a conservative. But I make $15 million. I don't care what the truth is. I don't care about this kid. I don't care how he got these documents. I don't care about kill ratios. I don't care whether Millie or Austin or Kirby or Sullivan or Jean-Pierre are lying. I don't care. Look at me. I'm a young lady. I've got kids. I'm making $15 million. I don't care about this. You want me to like Putin? I'll read the prompter. I don't know anything. Steve, what about you? Hey, same for me. I'm just getting long in the tooth, and I'm just happy to be here. I just want to do a cookbook. That's all I care about. I don't care about this. What about you, Kilmeade? This guy's he's on 24 hours a day. He's just here for the beer. Okay, great. That's okay. That's okay. Let's go to CNN or MSNBC or whatever it is. Or Rachel Maddow, who, by the way, I used to work with years ago. She's one of the nicest people. I'd like to say, Rachel, you're a Rhodes Scholar, doctor. Okay, I want to read something to you. Again, answer my question. I'm going to read something to you. And I'm going to leave out the country. I'm just going to say a country that borders another country. Answer the question. Let's say you are my advisor, Rachel, and we have on the border of Texas a group of people that right at Brownsville, right across, is it whether Brownsville, wherever it is, or Nogales, I don't know what it, but at Brownsville, there's a group of people right across the river in the Mexican area, and they are a CCP satellite, part of the Chinese Communist Party. They are a satellite right there, and they're the whatever cartel, the Chalupa cartel, whoever these people are. And they are seeking recognition from China. And China says, we will arm you, we will support you, and if anybody bothers you under our Article 5 of this thing that we have, which is kind of like a NATO analog, that's the point of this, we will come in and we will defend you. China. This little area. Now, Rachel, you're a doctorate from Oxford, you're Stanford, you're a brilliant woman. If you represented President Biden, and he asked you, what should I do about this? What should I do about this? Got this group of people. You want to look at the map? Look at the map. What would you do? Right in our border. And let me also harken back. You like John Kennedy, didn't you? Of course you do. Of course you do. By the way, he was as liberal as I am a duck. But anyway, Cuba was 90 miles away. 90 miles away from Miami. Key West. 90 miles. 90 over the water. Here is right there. What would you suggest? Because that is exactly the analog of Ukraine there. Rachel would say to yourself, well, obviously, Mr. President, China is stirring the pot by offering them all this stuff, by offering them independence. China decides to get, he's not alive anymore, but Bill Dana, who wasn't even Jose Jimenez, and he's going to be their Zelensky. And in fact, the Mexicans are going to say, who's this? Charo. She's Spanish, but we're going to pick somebody. I don't know who. Freddie Fender, I think he's dead. I don't know. We're going to pick somebody. Speedy Gonzalez. Somebody. We're going to just pick this person. Yeah. And the Sinaloa cartel, or whoever it is, Speedy Gonzalez and Slowpoke Rodriguez, his cousin, this is the Zelensky. Rachel, what would you suggest we do? What would you suggest? Would you say, leave them alone? They're seeking independence. These are freedom fighters. Again, this group, the Sinaloa cartel. And if anybody wants to help them, doesn't matter. They're independents. We've got to support these people. Oh, and by the way, would you suggest that Speedy Gonzalez come and speak before the Congress, asking for billions of dollars? What about that? You think that billions of dollars, you think it's going to China? When you give the billions, where are you sending this money to? 115 billion? Where are you sending it to? You think it's going to go to the Sinaloa cartel? This guy, Speedy Gonzalez? I don't think so. See, Rachel would say, look, excuse me. Rachel is now she might be making more than anybody at MSDNC. She wasn't even on. She said she was going to do documentaries. Rachel one time said to me, quote, she has a very interesting place. She says she lived in an apartment so small, she says, the size of a van. That was her life. That was very funny. The size of a van. I don't know how many millions. Millions. And am I suggesting that people will say whatever they're told to by virtue of what they're paid? Yeah. Dylan Mulvaney. Hey, Dylan. Yeah. You want to be the face of Bud Light? What? Bud Light? Do I look like Bud Light to you? I'm Chardonnay or 20 million. Sign me up. You're going to be the face. Sign me up. Got it? Do you understand what's going on here? They don't know what they're talking about. They will say whatever they want. They will say whatever they want, whether it's Kudlow, whether it's, I don't know the name of it. I always pick on Fox News because I don't know the other names of the people. I don't know who they are. Who are they? I don't watch them. They had Matt Taibbi on with some guy from MSC. Honey, some Hassan. I don't know who the hell he was. I'm thinking, why are you on that show? I don't know. By the way, Matt Taibbi, not the brightest guy in the world. I've been warning you about that. Matt Taibbi just does not come across. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you. So this is ridiculous. So the story yesterday is not about the documents. It's about the war effort. You've been lied to, and the people who've been telling you forever, the same way the people who told you about Vietnam. Do you not know about Vietnam? Do you not understand about Vietnam? You don't understand. Don't we learn anything about this? No. Victoria Nuland is so powerful, she's thinking to herself, this is great. She doesn't even come up. Because she said, well, I'm just an undersecretary. Stop that. Meanwhile, this is what's beautiful. You've got Biden who's in Ireland, and they're finding. Let me ask you a question. Stop. Do you remember a time in your life where we had these many secreted documents lost and misplaced? Do you remember this at any time in your life? Remember Sandy Berger? I forget what he was sticking them down his pants. And remember Bookman? I love that. He was the librarian from Seinfeld. Wonderful. I saw him. I think I saw him on Broadway or off Broadway once. It was very good. Anyway, let's assume there's a document, and it's this document. It's called Top Secret, whatever. And let's assume there's not a bunch of copies of it. Let's just assume. But it's this document. This one. And this has got everything. The Holy Grail. It's got everything on it. Okay? All right. So I'm in this room, and all of a sudden, the document's there. Not there anymore. And somebody looks, and somebody who works there looks at the thing and says, hey, wait a minute. This document's missing. Who had it last? Dylan Mulvaney or this guy, Tajiro, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, 21-year-old kid from the National Guard. Did you see this one particular document he had? CIA, there's no way you get this. This is really up there. Okay, fine. Hey, this is missing. He had it. Get him. And if that's not the system, I don't understand it. Do you realize bowling shoes? Remember going to a bowling alley? Remember that? You know how they get bowling shoes? They have bowling shoes. Remember that? And you can look right away and go, oh, the 10.5s are missing. You can just tell, who had them? Oh, it's easy. Lane 8. Okay. That's bowling shoes. You can see right there. They're missing. But documents, Trump's got them. This one's got them. This one's got them in his home. What about the documents that with Biden at his home? Well, whatever it is. Next to the meth head, no problem. But Trump had them. Oh, what is this? What is this? I don't understand this. Bowling shoes. Systems for keeping track of bowling shoes are more efficient than this. But on Fox News, they're not going to be talking about that. Why? Because they sold their soul. They sold their soul. And whether it's Ukraine, whether it's Russia, whether it's COVID, whether it's CDC or Fauci or whatever, they sell their soul. And they give you the impression through a couple of people, a couple of limited hangouts, like Tucker. Tucker is the limited hangout. Tucker is the guy who they say, that's the guy that we put on to make you think that he's like, hey, listen to this. I'm going to say something nobody's talking about. I'm going to say something bad about Zelensky. Okay, you go ahead. That's as far as we go. He's our token, whatever. It's a limited hangout. It's absolutely. Matt Taibbi, limited hangout. These are the only documents from Twitter? No, but we want you to think they are. Oh, this is Elon Musk? Is he revealing everything? Uh-huh. There you go. Wow. Boy, that Elon Musk is something. He went after NPR. Limited hangout. They want you to think that's it. That will satisfy you. You'll think Tucker Carlson is the most courageous person in the world. You'll think he is like, how do they let him say it? Say what? What is he saying? Remember Daniel Ellsberg? Remember the Pentagon Papers? They knew about that. You thought those were some big stories. We didn't know this. It was time for an limited hangout. There were other stuff there too. Limited hangout is the easiest concept. Let people think a little bit. That's all. It satisfies people. But when it comes to international stuff, oh, forget it. Forget it. Now, like I said, tomorrow is going to be the lecture, if you will, on this, on Dominion. This is the best story. This is the best. This is the best. Because let me tell you what's happening right now. Listen to me. Do you know where your conservative media are stuck at? Drag shows, Dylan Mulvaney, Bud Light, what else? Anything race. Race is number one. Race number one. Especially double standard. Well, how come he can say that and I can't? Oh, you'll be on that. Breaking news. Breaking news. Let me play a game with you. My dear friends, let's play a game, shall we? Tell me a story that just all of a sudden, tell me a story, honey, that just we forgot all about. How about this shooting in, was it Nashville? Was it Nashville? What? Tell me a story we don't talk about anymore. Give me one, honey. All of a sudden we just forgot about it. I'm going to just keep track. I told you that I'm going to have a show one day. Maybe. And we're going to have a dry erase board. Then I'm going to have a woman named Mildred or Madge or something. She's going to have a muumuu, a house dress. It could be like your grandma. And she's going to write. She has nice penmanship. And every time I say, Mildred, write this on a Post-it note. Write Tajira, whatever this guy's name is, a 21-year-old National Guard. Put this on a Post-it note and put this up on the board. Give us another one. Well, we got Dylan Mulvaney. Okay, put that up there. And then every 3 or 4 days, we bring out the other ones. Look at this story is forgotten, this story, and then we'll have the forgotten section. COVID. What are the stories that just went away? What about, am I saying it right, honey? The Nashville, right? Nashville, the bank?
No, that was
Louisville.
But Nashville was
2 weeks before this. I'm getting confused. Louisville. By the way, here's a trick. It's not a trick. You ask somebody, how do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Louisville? And they go, Louisville. No, Frankfurt. Okay. Think about this. Train derailment. Thank you, Jimmy. Train derailment. How about how many cattle were killed? 18,000. And what did they call that machine again? What was it called? Manure what? Manure diffuser. But there's a name for it. It was some cute name. It just so happened that they were talking about getting rid of all kinds of meat. Remember that? This guy wants you to eat bugs. This one wants you to... Look at this. Carol says East Palestine. Thank you. James SVB Bank. Thank you. Fukushima. Demetrius. Where in the hell? Fukushima. Yes. Yes. Fee says the leaked interview with the guy with a darkened face was so rehearsed and scripted, with a list of things rolling off his tongue, was so fake it was embarrassing. Absolutely, Fee. Think about this. $18,000 on a dairy farm? Nord Stream. Thank you. Cy Hirsch. Nord Stream. Anybody interested in that? Doesn't Germany care about that? Doesn't Russia say, excuse me, we didn't do that. We want an apology. We want to, we'll sue you for libel. 4 people at the church. How about the balloons? Chinese balloons. Is that done? Is that done? Is that over with yet? Remember all the balloons? Is that done? Supply chain breakdowns? How about ransomware? Remember ransomware years ago? Ransomware, remember the time they had the what is going on here? This is just the most incredible story in the world. It just goes away. Boris Johnson telling Ukraine to carry on. Thank you. I mean, Finland joining NATO. Thank you. Notre Dame fire. Yes. Notice I didn't say Notre Dame. Aliens. Oh, forget aliens. Nobody's going to talk about aliens. Nobody cares about that. It's just incredible. We just sit around breaking news. Don't worry about it. And here's the best part. Julian Assange. Now, what this kid should do, Tahira, what I said immediately yesterday was immediately start saying you've got 5 or 6 unpronounceable genders. Here's what you should do. Everybody should have a friend. If you're going to get involved with this, have ChatGPT give you a Dylan Mulvaney kind of a manifesto. You're going to be a transgendered, whatever it is. Have a dead man switch. So listen, Jerry, if anything happens to me, I get arrested, you put this out. He goes, yeah, his name was Jure. He was transitioning. Who? Larry. Yeah. He was? Oh, yeah, he was. Yes, right. And they'll say, oh, that's it. No problem. He wanted to be called, he wanted to use the West African clicking noise and Basque pronunciation with the Castillero Theta. Okay, sure, yeah, we'll do that. And nobody asked any questions. Here's the manifesto. He was transitioning. He went a little ugat, crazy, and that's it. You got it? Jury selection today in the case of. I got to tell you this. We'll do it tomorrow too, but this is so good. In the case of Dominion, it is unbelievable. The cross-examination, I can't wait. And this is not one where nobody will be able to withstand this. Hi, Tucker, is it? Yeah, Tucker. Tucker, you're I'm showing you what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 15 for identification. Do you recognize this? Yes. What is that? These are text messages. Text messages. Really? These are text messages to so-and-so. Yes. Okay. And in it, you say something to the effect of, he's crazy, he's whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Is that right? Yes. Oh. And you put this on the air, even though you said you knew he was crazy. You knew it. I mean, it'd be like the Nuremberg. There was a Russian prosecutor during Nuremberg who was the greatest ever. This guy screamed the whole time. This is going to be one of the best cases ever. And we'll talk about it again tomorrow because New York Times, there's never any malice. This malice is so clear, it's not even funny. Reckless disregard from the truth. They're telling each other, hey, this is crazy. Got to put them on. Don't want to make the Trump voter upset. So you put stuff on did you know was wrong? Yep. And Maria Bartiromo, boy, she's in it. Maria said, I'm in it. Yes. Dominion, Venezuelan, yes. Oh, God. Unbelievable. And watch what happens. You know that when Rupert hits the stand, he's going to go shingad. He's just watching. he's just watching Biden videos. He's just watching them. You got that? You got the way he does it? Pretend like you've been hit right in the solar plexus. That's that old man's voice. Yeah, talk like that. Yeah. And throw in that Aussie thing and really threw a crikey in there. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that crikey. Oh, shrimp on a Barbie and this. Jerry Hall. I read somewhere where he sent Jerry Hall a text saying, you know what? It's over. Have my lawyer call yours. I don't comment on people's private life, but you know what? Smooth. That's smooth. Who was it? Somebody got a fax. Who was it years ago? Was it Newt Gingrich or somebody? Somebody sent a fax. Listen, I got good news and bad news. Oh, forget that. I got bad news. It's over with. Don't you love that? Wow. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Was it Newt? I don't want to misspeak. Oh, it was a cancer-stricken wife. Oh, I'm not talking about that. But there was this one, divorce papers. There was poor Newt. I always liked that. There was a myth, by the way. Remember the deathbed? Yeah, we don't know about that. But there was something. Listen, there's no way to do it. There's no way to let people know. Let me see something here. And divorces are such a terrible thing. I don't know why I find this interesting. But in any event. Now, aside from this, we're going to find out in the immediate period of time, we're going to find out that there is a veritable host, a host of facts that are available to us and to you that we need to really get to the bottom of, okay? There's so much stuff. And by the way, this is the best part of all of this. Let me see. I'll leave it at that. I love the fact that we live in a world where so much information is provided before us. I find this to be so fascinating. Before we leave and move on, I want to bring you up to a couple of things which is important. Because as we speak about this notion of war and international calamity, let me say something to you right now. That there is something so important and so critical. When it comes to food, emergency food, this is number one. Ears should pop up. Emergency food, My Patriot Supply is still the best, the absolute best, the number one emergency supply food system company in the world. And they right now have a deal, 3 months worth of food, 3 months per person, and you can save $200 on a 3-month emergency food kit. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, snacks, enough food for one person for 3 months. It is so critical. 2,000 calories a day, 25-year shelf life. And we're not talking about banana chips and peanut butter. We're talking about stuff that is absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. That you will need. That you will be so thankful for in the event. When you open it up and go, macaroni and cheese. Look at this. Biscuits. Oh my God. This is great. Who knew? This is what you need. I'm telling you this right here, right now. Go to preparewithlionel.com. 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 That is the issue. Preparewithlionel.com. And you would be in a position where you will say, thank God we did this. It arrives fast and free and quick. And look, if I'd have to talk to you about the world being on the brink of total disaster. But food, remember, food, water, and energy. And by the way, the My Patriot Supplies, the other items you can get are incredible. Go to preparewithlionel.com and just see what you have available for you right there. That's number one. Number two, electromagnetic pulses and the like. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to scare people, but I think you know what they're about, and I think you know what they mean, and I think you know why it's so critical for you to actually involve yourself in something so important as this. I cannot say this enough. I cannot say it enough. Now think about this. This is a company out of the Midwest called EMP Shield. Electromagnetic pulse, easy for me to say, new teeth. Should scare the hell out of you. The technology they've got has undergone testing at Keystone Compliance, which is a military certified facility, listed by the Department of Homeland Security. Would you go and look at the link? Look at the link, and it's incredible. This company has devices that can protect you, not just your vehicle in your home, but your generator, solar system, ham radio, RV, and much more. So go and look right now at the customized URL and see for yourself. Just read the information. It will scare the hell out of you. Let's also talk about something. Let's talk about your health. And there's a lot that you can be doing, but one of the easiest things to do is Z-Stack. And I like this one thing you can do. It just makes so much sense. Just go and you can, again, use the URL in the description section. But this one little potion, I like this elixir, so to speak. This, not a suspension, but it's vitamin C, ascorbic acid, Linus Pauling. You know all about that. Everybody knows that. Quercetin, which is a flavonoid, bioflavonoid. This is what your body needs. This is what great food does to destroy free radicals. Remember what a free radical is? Electrons come in pairs. When they're in pairs, they're stable. Everything's great. When all of a sudden one is cleaved, you have that little electron just looking for a mate, going all over the world. Where can I find something? And that is what gets dangerous. When it says, oh, here's something, and now you've got something that nature perhaps never intended. And to keep those free radicals down as an antioxidant, this Z-Stack, quercetin, flavonoids. And to me, what I worry about more than anything else is my endothelium. Because the number one, if you had to bet somebody right now, sorry to say this, but the number one, the absolute, the killer of killers is heart attack, cardiovascular. And it's the endothelium. All right. Z-Stack. Do yourself a favor. Read the research. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And finally, sleep. Americans have this thing sometimes about, I don't know why, feeling as though if they sleep, they're lazy, or if they, believe it or not. Two things you can do from mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Their toppers, look what their toppers, look at the sale they got for their toppers. Also the MyPillow 2.0, but they're slippers. Slippers, everybody's got slippers. Everybody. And they sell, I think, more slippers than anything you can imagine. You should see these things. Do yourself a favor. MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com. You understand that? Promo code Lionel. Don't ever put anybody's promo code in there but mine. Promo code Lionel. Now, my friends, I want you to understand something. You are a very special person because you join us every day, don't you? Every single day. And when you say the leaked Pentagon papers, they're not talking about anything. And I do have a problem. And I will tell you this right now. And I want you to make sure you understand something. I do not like people leaking documents. If somebody came to me and said, hey, listen, you want to stop this war? Hey, yeah, leak this. Wait a minute. What is this? Those are leaked documents. What's in here? I don't know. It's about lies. Excuse me. Can American military personnel be hurt by this? Could an American soldier be hurt by this? Could American troops be hurt by this? Could we be inadvertently giving information out that could hurt America? No, forget it. What do I know? I know we love whistleblowers and all this Assange stuff and this Snowden, but I'll be damned if I'm going to do that because I don't know what I'm giving out. If all of a sudden something becomes available and somebody, Russian, French, Israeli, German, here, maybe, who knows, says, wait a minute. Do you mean that? Did you see this? They said they were doing this, but how do you know I'm not starting a new war? How do you know I'm not helping the enemy, whatever the enemy means? I don't know what I'm giving out. That's the part I don't understand. Who are these people? And I don't believe for a moment this 21-year-old, his story, he might have been. And his gamer friend? We live in a world of chat GPT, my friends. Did you hear this, the latest? Did you hear Zelensky's speech? I don't know who wrote this. And we will not stop until the Ukrainian flag over Crimea. Say, who wrote this? What are you talking about? But you know that. But remember, whether it's Fox News, whether it's MSDNC, Rachel, or any of the morning crew, when you're making $20, $30, $40 million, or whatever it is a year, you will say anything they tell you. And that's the way it should be. I mean, if it's your company, you can get them to say whatever you want, but don't think you're going to get the truth there. No, remember, independent, citizen, civilian, alternative, and foreign. Some of the best stuff that happens about our country is in the foreign press. Just say, we'll get the press. By the way, did you ever hear the story? Remember the riots in French? You think that's about pensions? Come on. Remember the yellow vests? Remember the Arab Springs? Remember the color revolutions? No, of course not, because you're busy. You're busy, and I don't blame you. All right, my friends, you have a great and glorious day. Yesterday was beauteous. Mrs. Eldon and I were perambulating and locomoting around the boulevard, and it was just absolutely glorious. People were happy. People were out. You know what also we're seeing more of now? Dreaded, horrible feet. I don't know what happens. Somebody says, yeah, I got a great idea. I'm going to let these fetlocks out. I'm going to paint them with nail varnish, cause attention, and this shoe will somehow transform this foot that looks like it was like this barnacled, I don't know, something from a circus act or a livestock show. This is going to be attractive because of this shoe that my foot doesn't fit into. Chris Rock had the best lines. There's some people who they have the wrong size shoe. Their feet look like bread rising. I love that. But that's part of the thing. We're also seeing, you notice too, honey, the bare midriff. Seeing that again. People say, hey, this is great. It's warm. I have a bare midriff. I've got a spare tire, a panis. I've got a gut that looks like Paul Anderson, the old weightlifter. I should have a belt around me. I should be like with some Ironman competition, strongest man, lifting up a keg. But it's okay. I'm going to have this because my umbilicus, it looks like a headlight. All of a sudden, I'm attractive. With my feet that look like a Clydesdale, I look terrific. I'm ready to take on the world. What in the hell do people talk about? Why are you doing this? Dear God. In any event, you have a great and glorious day. Make sure you follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. I'm telling you again. LYNNS_Warriors on Twitter. And don't forget my other YouTube channel. This is a good one. Lionel Legal. Have you signed up for that? Lionel Legal. Lionel Legal. All right, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. 8 a.m. Channel. 8 a.m. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.